Hello everybody, my name is Stefan Behlert. I'm from the inbound product management at SUSE. I will talk to you today about SUSE Linux Enterprise 15 SP2 and what's coming there. And we will look today a little bit at the product overview, how the product overall looks, what we have, then a little bit on the structure that we have with SP2, and then go into details on the major changes. So let's start with the portfolio that we have. Those of you familiar with the SLES Enterprise will see no big surprise here. The same products that we have for code 12 are also available in code 15. We did not change that with Service Pack 2. So you see all the familiar stuff that you need, including the main products on the left side, as well as the server extension in the middle that are partly on top of the main products and partly included as a bundle in the main products. Looking at where we currently are, you see we have three major code streams. Code 11, if you're still on that, I hope you have LTSS, because we have reached the end of the general support. That's the GE that you see here. The current active that most of you will most likely be on is code 12, where we recently released Service Pack 5. Service Pack 5 is the last service pack in code 12, and there is no further service pack planned with code 12. That leaves us with code 15, which is our latest and newest code stream, where we will add all the new hardware enablement and everything else. As you can see, Service Pack 2 planned for this year is the one that we are talking about, and the red bullet indicates it here. We are still developing it at the point of this recording. So some of the stuff that I will tell you is brand fresh. Some might change a little bit until it gets final, but overall everything is as I will tell it you. In case you're wondering when will come the next major code stream, the current plans are for the year 2022, when we will have the next one, which is roughly 4 years after code 15 came to life. Looking at a little bit at the current, going more into the details here, onto the current schedule for Service Pack 2. You see we have passed the beta phase. We are now in the release candidate phase. More concrete, we are before the public release candidate that will come on the 24th of this month. And you may wonder why we have some marked as green and others not with green highlighters. That's because we tried something new with Service Pack 2. We are not putting all the downloadable images on the web pages as you are accustomed in the last few products, but we put only a few ones out, which you may say, oh, then I have less for testing. No. As a side effect, we have weekly snapshots that we release and where we update the online channels every week. So you get, if you join the public beta program, even faster the fixes that we do than you did in the past. The Gold Master candidate, our internal milestone when we want to be finished, is in June. And in July, we will then go with the first customer ship. The exact date will be published soon. Every code stream that we have has a few themes that we follow through the whole code streams and all the service packs that are coming. You see here the ones for SLES 15. I will only go partly into that. If you're interested in that, there's a recording regarding the roadmap for SLE 15 and SLES, where more details will be shown. The code streams that we have and the themes for it have one common goal. We try to keep the themes constantly improving throughout the service packs, which means with Service Pack 2 we have also looked at the themes here and added a little bits and pieces here and there to make the things more smoother, running better, and to react on customer feedback. I'll also go a little bit later into a few things that we have done past Service Pack 1, but which will be seen for Service Pack 1. Our releases, our service packs, come in two flavors. These two flavors are, on one side, the odd versions. That means Service Pack 1, Service Pack 3, Service Pack 5, where we include mostly bug fixes and the maintenance updates that we have released since the first customer ship, but also a little bit of improvements for existing features, add a little bit of feature parity with other code streams that we have. And well, we are SUSE, we are developers, we love technology, so we add also a few selected features, new features in these versions. But that's not the emphasis there. Our even versions, Service Pack 2, 4, those are the ones where we say, yeah, let's not only add bug fixes, but also do a little bit of more features, where we, for example, change the kernel version, where we do a big kernel version bump to enable more hardware, where we look if we need a new stack for, let's say, the X server or other stuffs. So there we have more intensive, more critical updates and also more changes in the service pack than you see in the odd versions. Looking at the number of service packs, you may have noticed I said Service Pack 2 and Service Pack 4, not Service Pack 6. That's very simple. We currently plan with 5 service packs for Code 15. And before we go into Service Pack 5, we will see if we need a Service Pack 6, if it's wise to have one, or if we rather say we stay with Service Pack 5 and the new code stream that will be then live is the one to choose from. But that will be decided on Service Pack 5, and you will hear from that early enough. You see also here that we have overlapping in the service packs, so the service packs are longer supported until the next service pack is out for half a year. And for each of the service packs, we offer also long-term service pack support, which enhances your service pack tremendously. As a caveat, I should add here for SLES for SAP, that LTSS timeframe is included in the product, so you have there a longer overlap already than compared to the pure core SLES. Other dates, nothing new here. You see 13 years of life cycle. Updates are possible to the next and the next +1 service pack. More details on that also on the presentation I mentioned earlier. Let's get a little bit into the structure of Service Pack 2. There's no big change compared what we had with the previous service packs in 15. But in case you are not familiar, we have built up the products in SLE 15 with modules, which you can imagine as a kind of bricks that together form the product. So you have a certain amount of basic modules, the base system, desktop application, few others that are available in all of the products. You have product-specific modules like server apps for the enterprise server products, or the workstation extension that's included in the desktop product. And you have a pool of modules that are available for the products besides what make up the main product. So you have the Python, the container module, the public cloud module, and others. As you can see here, there are quite some modules. Not all, I have to admit, are available for every product, but most of them are. Let me point out a few ones of this list. On the left side, you see at the bottom the transactional server and the package hub. Transactional server is a new module that we have introduced with Service Pack 1 that allows for atomic updates of packages. If you're interested in that, there's a session also that will cover that in details. It's not for everybody and for every use case really the best choice, but in case you want to have a system that is always runnable and bootable, that is something that you should look at. Package Hub is the place where the community adds packages and also the SUSE employees that are not 100% level 3 supported, but that are good enough and fulfill the quality that we expect from an enterprise product, and that are there for free for everybody to use. As of today, there are roughly 60,000 binary packages inside. So you have quite some packages to choose from that you can use on top of your products. The sad news is there are also packages that we can no longer support. There are several reasons for that. Some because the code has fallen apart, is no longer good enough. Some because there are better tools. And some because upstream has decided to do changes that are no longer really fitting for legal or other perspectives. Now, if you have a package that is very intensive for configuration, say SendMail or other packages, you need some time when you migrate to a new code stream. And to allow you to have that time, we have introduced the legacy module where we put stuff that we no longer want to support for the whole lifetime. We no longer can, in most cases, support for the whole lifetime, but where we know that you will need it for a while to make migration working in a reliable way. So that you find in the legacy module. The other module that you have here is the Python 2 module, where we put all the Python 2 stuff. In case you have not heard it, Python 2 has been replaced by Python 3. Upstream support for Python 2 has ended. And if you have still Python 2 application, you should start to migrate to Python 3. We know this takes a time and it's not easy doable, so we provide still the Python 2 packages, giving you the time to migrate to Python 3. Be aware, currently all packages in Legacy and Python 2 are supported. They are just, we don't encourage you to use them. You should migrate away from them. Don't expect them to be here for the whole 13 years. Service Pack 2 has no change here on the deliverables that we had in the past service packs. I will skip that a little bit because you know all that. The architectures, nothing has changed here. On the target scenarios, the cloud has been intensified and a little bit has added. But there's one thing that I will go into later. That's the quarterly updates that you see here, which is something new that we provided with Service Pack 1. So the quarterly updates, it's very simple. You have the ISO images that you can download from downloadsuse.com. And that is normally everything that we have released at the first day of the first customer shipment. Since that day, we have released maintenance updates. The quarterly updates take these maintenance updates and the original packages, put them all onto an image, and we provide every 3 months an image that has the updates included already. So if you are, for example, at this point in time starting to install freshly Service Pack 1, you can, instead of downloading the original first customer ship image, download the quarterly update number 3, use that for installation, and have already all the available updates on that disk. There are still some that has been the release of the quarterly update being released are not on the media, but the number is much smaller. So especially in case if you do offline installations without connection to the internet, that's something that will help you tremendously. We were at the installation part. Let me go a little bit into what we changed now with Service Pack 2. You know, with SLES 15, we had 2 medias, the installer media and the packages media. One was for the offline installation containing all the packages. That was the packages media. And one was the installer media where you could install online, but also in combination with the packages media. That was a little bit confusing, and we changed the naming of the 2 ISOs a little bit and also made both of them able to install. So we have now the online named media, which is the installer media that has the full installation of all the products that you have seen at the beginning in the portfolio. And we have the full media that contains all the packages and modules that are available. With both medias, you can do an installation of the various products. With the online media, you need to have a connection to either the SCC or an RMT or SMT in your network. With the full media, you can do a completely offline installation. No internet connection is required. I already said it. It's Service Pack 2. That means a kernel update. You will find now kernel 5.3 in Service Pack 2. We have updated the whole GNOME stack up to version 3.34. Mesa and PHP have been renewed, and we have added Postgres SQL 12 compared to the previously available number 10. Not an update, but a complete new application that we will ship is RabbitMQ, the server, which we provide as a technical preview until we have gained a little bit more experience there and see what you need. And we hope to have that fully supported with the next Service Pack. On the development side, the system compiler is still GCC 7. But for those of you who need a newer compiler to make advantage of some new enhancements that have been released since then, we ship the GCC 9 compiler in the development tools module. The runtime libraries are available in the base system, so you can easily compile your applications yourself with GCC 9 and use them on SLES. One exception, kernel modules still have to use the system compiler GCC 7. That's due to technical issues with the kernel and the way it's compiled. We have added, following several requests, Maven as a technical preview. Why it's a technical preview? Very simple. We build it now from scratch. We are not taking pre-built binaries here, but compiling and building it ourselves, so we know exactly what's inside, and you can be assured that we control that very much. Node.js has been updated to 12 in the development tools, so you're also there with newer stuff. For SAP, SLES for SAP, the product, we have added various packages and scripts to allow salt automation for SAP deployments, making deployment of SAP instances much more easier. Please have a look at the various scripts. We are constantly enlarging them currently, adding new ones. And there's also a GitHub project where you can contribute if you want and bring up improvement requests. Same is true for the Prometheus exporter for the monitoring, which will allow you to monitor much more better what your systems are doing in an SAP environment. Other stuff for HPC, we added OpenMPI 3. That's only for HPC, and in the HPC module, the rest is still OpenMPI 2 due to the huge amount of dependencies we see there. Two applications we moved out of specific products to make them available for the generic products. So cryptctl and collectd are now available in all of the server products, not just in some. And on SLES for SAP, we have an upgrade of Subtune to version 2, which allows, besides more SAP nodes and easier use of the SAP nodes, a much better usability. Be aware, nevertheless, if you want to use it, you have to manually adapt some of your configurations, which we cannot do, unfortunately, automatically. So, literally several hundred packages also got updated. At the point of time currently, we have roughly 1,100 packages that saw updates. Some of them are maintenance updates that have been released since SP1. Some are new bug fixes, some are new features. So you see quite some changes here, and it would really blow up that presentation if I would go into all of those. Some examples you see at the bottom of the page. Be aware, we are still developing. We are in the RC phase, so only small changes are expected here, but nevertheless, the version numbers can still change. Please check the release notes for exact numbers when you're looking into it. And there we are, the release notes. You can find it on our webpage, as well as you can find information about the beta program. The beta program is useful if you want to have timely information, let's say it in that way. If you want to give feedback, if you want to know before the rest what's coming, and if you want to adjust your stuff and also give feedback in time so we can adapt and adjust stuff so you can work with it perfectly. Look at that page. Beta programs are available for a lot of the products that we have at SUSE. You can still join the SP2 beta program. You get early access to what we do in that case. It's open to everybody. We will be happy to have you there. And supporting sessions, look out for those and the recordings of those. The one in the middle is what I have referred to earlier. There you find more about the roadmap and some more information about what we said earlier about the themes of SLE 15, as well as there's the multimodal OS platform that goes a little bit deeper into the design thoughts that were behind 15. And SUSE Linux Enterprise from A to C will give you a big overview about a lot of stuff that you may know or not know from all parts of the system. That's all from my side here. Thank you for listening to that. I wish you a happy day. I hope you enjoy what we presented you. Have fun and stay healthy. Thank you, everybody.